friends, and welcome back to another episode. I am very excited to bring to you this 1930s to 1940s vintage Chifforobe. Funny enough, this piece was gifted to me by an absolute stranger. She reached out to me on my Facebook page and asked me if I had any use for this. She actually thought that it was a complete toss away and wasn't sure what to do with it. And I, of course, saw something else, and so I gratefully said, yes, absolutely. I will take it off your hands, and now I can't wait to share the end result with you guys. There's lots to share, so let's jump in and get started. My name is Katarina, and I live in a small town in beautiful northern Alberta. I restore and refinish furniture, both for myself and for clients. Welcome to my shop. When I first get a piece, I like to do a really good job of thoroughly checking everything out. This gives me a really good idea of what I am up against. And in this project, I am dealing with a very structurally sound piece. There just happen to be a couple of things that need to be repaired. Fortunately for me, there were no major issues with the drawers. They just needed a little bit of sprucing up and some wax to protect the wood. The next step was to remove all of the hinges and hardware and set that aside so that I could clean that and put it back later. The largest repair that I will have to address on this Chifforobe is the issue of this panel not being attached anymore. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened to it and why it came off, but I will do my best to repair this later on.
Well, I wasn't planning on having to remove the whole panel, but it's coming unglued, so I will just remove that whole panel on the bottom. So there's a couple of nails right here that are holding this in place, and I will remove those and put it back. What's happened here on this piece? Well, that's a knot, so that's unfortunate. I will just do my best to glue that back in, but you can see these nail holes have all been torn. So I will fill those and smooth everything out. And so then when I go back to screw it in, it will be nice and tight.
So I'm not sure what the color of this original piece was on this front here, but it's appearing green. I'm not sure what that is, but look at how lovely this is. So this is what I'll end up keeping. So it's got a little design here. So this is going to be sanded down and smoothed, and I'm going to be staining this piece. Not a fan of this. Just this, much prettier. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the legs now. One, because I want to get rid of this nail that's sticking out, but two, because I want to be able to clean everything underneath and get these nice and cleaned up as well. And everything is always easier to clean if I can take it apart. So it looks like there used to be casters with these, which is like crazy to me because of the weight of this piece. So a couple things on the bottom that I need to do as well. A really good opportunity to clean up all the yuck that gets trapped underneath as well. It looks like this is missing a chunk of wood here as well. So I will cut out that piece of wood and replace it and then reshape it. As usual, I have injured myself. It's like the story of my life. Never dull, never ends. I'm always hurting myself. Go! My first attempt at scraping the door was unsuccessful, and so I decided I would use a stripper to help me tackle the layers of paint that I was unsuccessfully trying to get off. Okay, so normally I don't
like to use stripper. This is a gentle stripper. It's not anything crazy. I've got a bit of a cold right now. I really don't want to use anything too chemically right now, and I'm inside, and we just can't have the toxic fumes in the house. So I'm going to try my best to start scraping the big piece. What is that? EZStrip to do its work. So I'm going to wait about half hour, see how much I can get done on the base unit, and then go from there.
If you've been watching me for a while, you know that my preference is to scrape a project first. I don't like using strippers. I will use them. My preference is to use a scraper before I strip it. And that's simply because I hate the mess. They're stinky. A lot of times some of them don't do what they say they will do, and they're just really, really messy. I find the scraping process much faster, much easier, and way less messy and easier to clean up.
Hi, Puppies. What's up? You're a good girl. Hi. Oh, there's my good girl. There's your good girl. Don't lick my hands, yucky. No, my boo-boo. You're such a good girl. Oh, you're such a good girl.
And on that note, I do want to take a moment to say thank you for subscribing, following, commenting, liking, doing all the things to help support me and my channel. I'm a growing channel. I'm small. Small but mighty is usually what my motto was growing up. And I love to share what I do with you guys. So if you're interested in supporting me in any way, please hit that subscribe button. I really do love being able to share my projects with you guys and share what I learn about each project, and maybe even inspire one of you or a few of you to tackle a project of your own one day. So thank you all for subscribing, for liking, for commenting. I really do appreciate it. Let's get back to regular programming. To repair the issue of the spinning screws on this little side panel, I filled the holes with some wood glue and then used an appropriately sized dowel and trimmed it to size. I then trimmed off the excess and used wood filler to fill the gaps in the back that were missing. I later reattached this piece using wood glue and the original nail.
So there was a knot that fell out, and I accidentally sucked it up with my vacuum the other day. So I was going to just glue back the knot, but I can't obviously do that now because it's missing. So I'm thinking I will try an epoxy, the quick wood first, and see if that offers me the solution that I need. Honestly, I don't know if this will work or not, but I'm gonna try and then go from there. With quick wood, it's really easy. It's a 2-part epoxy, and all you do is you just mix it together in your hands and it forms a singular color, and then you just apply it. The other thing I need to be mindful of is when I'm doing this repair, it's on a curve. I have to make sure that I leave room for the veneer that I need to replace to be put back on. So this may work, this may not work. I don't know. No harm in trying something out, and if it doesn't work, we just pivot and try something new. There's also quite a bit of loss of wood in this back part here, so just going to kind of fill that in a little bit with the extra epoxy, which will help secure it to the board. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I have left room on top for a veneer to be placed over, so I'm gonna have to do some patchwork there. Luckily for me, I do have extra veneer in this walnut color here, so I will use that. There's a couple other spots too that need to get repaired, but I will figure those out as I go along. So yeah, there we go. That is repaired.
Here are a couple of really interesting facts I learned while researching about the Chifforobe. The Chifforobe was first introduced in the Sears, Roebuck & Company catalog back in 1908. And this catalog described it as a modern invention, having been in use only a very short time. The term chifforobe is a portmanteau of the word chiffonier and wardrobe. It's a type of French furnishing featuring drawers with a wardrobe next to it. It gained a lot of popularity in the early 20th century, especially in the US, as a convenient and space-saving solution for storing clothing and accessories. Over time, the design and construction has evolved, with some having features such as mirrors, shelves, and decorative trim added to it. While originating in the early 20th century as a combination of wardrobe and chest of drawers, its popularity grew over time and has since become a staple in many Americans' homes. To repair the issues with the failing veneer, I used a matching grain veneer that I had on hand, and I simply cut to size, used either an iron or wood glue, and secured to the wood. After I was done staining and top coating, I went back and did all of my color work to make sure that I matched the tones of the old veneer to the new veneer, so that way the repairs would blend seamlessly. Kind of a funny thing, I never imagined myself as a YouTube content creator or as somebody who would share their content online like this. But it turns out I'm really enjoying it, and I genuinely hope that you guys are as well. Once again, thank you guys for joining me on today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Please help support my channel by liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing this video to friends and family who you think would like this transformation as much as I did. Really appreciate you guys spending this time with me. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Please check out my other videos, and if you'd like, you can buy me a coffee. Links are in the description below. Have yourselves a fantastic day. See you all soon.
Bye.